There's more! I'm back! CGI shit!
I rest my case.
It was fucking horrible!
Hey guys, what's up? It's BigJackFilms here, and welcome back to another opening night, and this one is very delayed by like 2 years, 3 years, I think, at this point. So, I've been wanting to actually get to this film for quite some time because I missed out on it. I missed out on the hype for this one. I remember the trailers just blew me away. Like, the first trailer was one of the most beautiful things I had seen in a long time, and I was actually really excited for this movie, and I just never got a chance to see it. I skipped out on it, namely for affordability, namely because I think I was pretty busy that year. I was working really hard on Ready Player One, but on top of that, I saw the critics' reviews, and I was a little mixed on if I wanted to spend my money or not. Well, I'll just say this, I was 100% wrong. I am very ashamed and I am very regretful that I skipped out on this in cinemas. That, of course, being Avatar 2: The Way of Water, the sequel to James Cameron's Avatar from 2009. Now, full disclosure, I really liked the first Avatar when it came out in 2009. I thought, with James Cameron, you can't go wrong with visual storytelling, high-class effects, and so on. And now, he hasn't made a movie since the first Avatar. It took him, even before that, it took him like a decade to get another movie off because the last movie he did before Avatar was Titanic. And apparently he spent his entire fortune on Titanic, that was the first movie to break $1 billion, on the technology and waiting for the time to make the first Avatar. When the first Avatar came out, it was very much a visual experience. The effects were top-notch, the best anybody had ever seen from cinema. The story was to be desired. It was Dances with Smurfs, as South Park put it. I saw it, but I didn't really let it bother me. I thought the first film was a solid movie. It is a solid visual experience. There's reasons why, upon every re-release, it got made more money. People went back over and over in IMAX and 3D. This movie, the first one, really pushed the 3D craze to new heights. Like, this was the movie to see that kind of rectified the 3D genre for a while. And when I saw it, it was great. I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was beautiful. I thought Cameron knew what he was doing. He created an original idea. Well, not story-wise, but like in terms of the world of Pandora, the way it's set up and everything. There is something visually marvelous about Pandora, and as an original sci-fi production, like, it's amazing. He spent his fortune, he made his money back. That movie actually ended up just pumping that up to 11, beating his own record. Cameron is a perfectionist. Cameron is a visual storyteller, and he's brilliant at it. So now, 15 years later, it took him a while to make Avatar 2, but goddamn, this guy made Avatar 2, 3, and 4 all at once, and he got production rolling around the pandemic or something. I don't know, something about, apparently I heard behind the scenes on this particular franchise. It was a mess to get together a full sequel, and on top of the fact that, like, you know, the COVID pandemic actually had them stuck in New Zealand where they had to continue shooting. Cameron actually paid to let them keep shooting. Even though they were supposed to be on lockdown, he put the risk to continue filming. But on top of that, it was costing him billions of dollars to make the series. And then, on top of that, Disney buying Fox also got into the way. So now Disney's got this, which is how I watched this. I watched this on Disney+. And finally it's made, and it's finally released, and the critics weren't too nice about this one. Like, they felt it was pretty, like, not really a rehash of the first movie, but it felt like there was, people said visually this movie was great, And again, the story was lacking, which put me on a pedestal with Cameron. I was thinking to myself, he's not good at writing, but he's good at visual storytelling. So, where do I stand with the sequel to Avatar? I finally took a look at it. Well, let me give you a rundown of the story. So basically, spoilers, by the way. The movie's been out for a couple of years, who cares? This time around, we see Jake Sully, Sam Worthington, who you wonder why he's not in movies right now. He's stuck with Cameron. With his newfound tribe, with the Na'vi, and Zoe Saldana plays his wife, and they have 4 kids and an adoptive one. And 2 adoptive ones, actually. And basically all happy. The sky people, humans have left. But nope, the humans are back. And they are led by, oddly enough, the general, the bad, evil general from the first movie, which you're wondering, wait a minute, he died. How is this possible? Well, it turns out the Earth people not only cloned him, but took his subconscious and cloned him right before he went into that last battle in the first one, implanted it into the clone, and implanted it into the Avatar. So basically, the general got a fucking reset. He basically died in game and picked up where he left off in his save mode. So it is the same conscience of the original villain, but now he's taken the form of a Na'vi avatar. And with that said, he's back for revenge. His goal, kill Jake Sully, eliminate his entire family. Meanwhile, Earth is coming to basically take over Pandora as the new Earth because Earth is dying. I guess they finally decided to upload Wall-E, but to the point, now we have a conflict of interest. We have Jake and his family and the tribe of the Na'vi. We have Earth people coming down because they need a new home. They're at odds and war with each other, and on top of that, we have a villain who has a very interesting, convoluted but interesting, character development. Not only is he having to deal with the fact that he is now one of his own enemy. He's wearing the skin of his enemy forever, and, that could fuck up anybody's heads. But on top of that, he has to get into their culture and how they live in order to get to Jake Sully. But then on top of that, he has a son. Yes, it turns out after he died, he actually did have a son during that time. The son's now grown up, and now he's actually a stepchild to Jake Sully, which even stings him more, the fact that not only is my enemy having a happy life, he's taken my son. Fuck you, I'm coming for all of them. And so, what we have is a revenge story. Jake and his family have to move out of the tribe to protect the tribe and go to the aqua-based Na'vi that live in water-based islands, and they have to essentially restart their lives, learn new things. In this case, they have to learn how to adapt to water. And with that, we have some amazing visual effects, stunning stuff with CG and water. I can't tell what's real and what's fake. Creative creatures this time around, much more of this than the first one. And then we have a battle, of course, for the revenge. But anyway, that's the rundown. And in my opinion, I was shocked that I regret not seeing this movie in theaters because, first of all, on a technical level, this movie is brilliant. This movie is a visual wow. It's a mind blower. It is another game changer for visual effects. It pushes it. Cameron spent the money. You could tell he spent the money. There is so much to pack. The realism, the depth of field, the skin texture on the Na'vi. I can't tell if it's real, if it's a practical effect or CG. We have gotten to that level. Even some of the spaceships and stuff, I sometimes thought that was a model. I'm pretty sure it was a model. It had to have been. But, if the CG is that level, Cameron's got the best technology. I can't tell what's real or fake anymore. So visually, this movie is stunning. If they do a re-release, I might go see this just for the visual 3D alone, and I want to watch it high, because this looks amazing on the big screen. I'm so ashamed I had to watch it on a small screen, but you gotta work with what you gotta work with. This movie was a visual marvel. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I don't know if this won the Academy Award for visual effects, but if it didn't, shame on the Academy. This was a next level up. On top of that, I think the story is very engaging. I'm engaged with these characters. I've been engaged with them since the first one. Now I'm engaged with them again. Namely, the villain. I like that they've made this villain a bit more, like, held back, where he's not just going for revenge. He has revenge on his mind. He is on kill mode. But there's part of him in his story, namely with his son, where he's held back a bit because he's starting to grow some empathy. He's not the original general. He is a clone. He is a copy. He doesn't have the soul of the original, which was full of hatred. Now, while this one has vengeance on the mind, he is held back for the safety of his son, which I think is interesting. He's trying to form a bond with his son. It adds a dynamic where he grows empathy, so maybe we don't know what happens in the next one, but we'll see. We have also the fact that, well, Jake and his girl are there. Like, they are there, and they are prominent characters, they have a lot of growth. They're kind of on the sidelines to focus on his kids. His kids have the most character development. And at first I'm thinking, this is going to be direct-to-video sequel territory, defiance of their parents, they're going to be just like them, and all this hullabaloo that we've seen before. Surprisingly, no. I am engaged with the kids and what they have to go through, namely the two brothers, the three brothers in a way. What they have to go through. I'm engaged with the adoptive daughter, who is actually the daughter of Sigourney Weaver's character. Yeah, they found a way to get Sigourney Weaver back, even though she's dead. A lot of stuff like records and memories and stuff, they find a way to put her in there. I'm engaged with what happens to her and how she has these powers that other Navis don't do. She's sort of a Jesus parallel. All that's building up to probably what they're going to do next. I'm really engaged with this new tribe and what they have to offer. They have a lot of stuff to learn from. Shocked to find out, there's the chief's wife, played by Kate Winslet. So yes, I guess Kate Winslet settled her differences with Cameron after Titanic, and they got to work together again. Heavily pregnant, and does not care. She's going into battle no matter what, and I'm like, damn, that takes balls. That takes balls for a woman who is expecting so soon, could plot the baby at any moment, and is like, fuck this, I'm going to fight. Just balls. Balls on that woman. Although it would have been funny if, like, okay, it's weird, because with Cameron recycling actors from before, would not surprise me if down the line we see the likes of not just, like, Linda Hamilton or Arnold Schwarzenegger, but also Leonardo DiCaprio showing up. I think it would be cool if Cameron utilized them. Billy Zane, bring him back, that's cool, but I don't know, we'll save that for later. But to the point, it's just, there's a lot to engage in. The visuals are great. The action scenes, by the time we get to that third act with that big battle, I'm invested, I'm in. There's some great action cues here. Cameron knows how to do that for sure. And then in terms of just, like, I'd say the music is the only thing I'm like, alright, well, because James Horner passed away, we got a new composer, and it's a little meh. But on top of that, it's, I like the trailer music a lot. That was so, like, I need a relaxation of that type of music. That's what Avatar should be. But outside of that, there's, I was shocked that The Weeknd did a song for this. Like, how have I slept on this movie? This is a solid sequel. In terms of just being... So Cameron has never done franchise stuff outside of Terminator and Aliens. He did the first two Terminators, then he bounced, and then he did Aliens, the sequel to Ridley Scott's Alien. And out of those three, two of them are considered the greatest sequels of all time, Aliens and Terminator 2. Now, where does Avatar rank as a sequel? I would say with Cameron's sequels, this is third best. Granted, he's only made 3, but this is probably the least. Namely because there's a couple issues I have with this. Flaws. I would say, for one thing, Cameron, after Titanic, he just can't help himself. All his movies are tended to be 3 hours at this point. This is no exception. This movie was 3 hours and 15 minutes. And I would say by, like, the first half of the halfway point, like, I would say the first half of the second half, it felt a little dragged. I'm like, alright guys, come on. Let's get to the ending here. It's a little too long. On top of that, Cameron does like to repeat some stuff here. Namely, the fact that this deals with water, given Cameron is very much an ocean guy, he loves the ocean, he has explored it and shit. You can tell that he kind of wanted to go back to Titanic. Like, Bill Paxton goes, are you ready to go back to Titanic? he wanted to go back in terms of how he made his movie. Namely, by the end of the third act, when the big cruiser ship starts to flood, there's a lot of Titanic nostalgia in there. You could tell he wanted to do Titanic again. With the sinking, with the water, with the wreckage, with the fighting. This time he put the fight in, because in the original Titanic, Jack and the cop guy got into a fight in the water. A lot of what he couldn't do first with Titanic, he's able to incorporate here. And with his experience, he knows what he's doing. So you can tell there's a little bit of Titanic in this movie, and I guess for people who are nostalgic for Titanic, it's like, great, more of that, please, Cameron, more water. So there's a little bit of that, and outside of that, a lot of people criticize the message of this film, where the first one is Avatar is an environmental message. That is the one thing I will say. These franchises heavily about environments. Now, I'm a tree hugger myself. I love the environment. I'm all about keeping it clean. I'm all about trying to get rid of pollution and all that horseshit. Yes, I grew up with Captain Planet too. I am a Planeteer. Not Heart, though. That's my tea. But to the point, I understand the message, and I think in the first one it was more forced. This one was pretty subtle, but a lot of people criticize this one because it's a save the whales message. Guys, what's wrong with whales? Whales are awesome! What I love about it, the way we're introduced to the save the whales message is like halfway through the film, one of the brothers goes underwater and gets lost, is attacked by alien jaws. It's this alien shark thing with like the head of a rattlesnake, and I'm like, oh my god, two of my biggest fears combined, Jesus Christ! Holy shit, I was on the edge. But then, here comes fucking bigger alien jaws to ram them, but then it turns out it's not bigger alien jaws, it's bigger alien Free fucking Willy! Now it goes all Free Willy, where it's the boy and his relationship with the whale. And, the whale's cool! You can talk to the whales! I'm like, this is awesome! And at the end of the movie, when they're fighting in the water and shit, the whale just comes in and says, "Fuck you!" and is like beating the shit out of him. I'm like, y'all motherfuckers bitched about saving the whales? I will save the whales if I get more action shit like this. Don't be an Eric Cartman singing Poker Face going, "I don't give a shit about whales, so go and hug a tree." Fuck you! The whale shit was awesome! I love the creative action visuals in this. So I thought here it was actually okay. I thought that was awesome. With Avatar 3 coming out this year, I am expecting a only you can prevent forest fires message, which fine. But I understand, like, listen, I guarantee Cameron's gonna get a lot of flack for at this point. It's like, now you are ripping off The Last Airbender. It's gonna be interesting if he finally confronts it. He says, guys, I finally watched the show. I'm sorry. I don't know. But, Avatar 2, back to Avatar 2. I also do like what they did with the ending here. That it does kind of set up the next one. In this case, we have it where the villain lives. You think he's dead, but the villain lives. And on top of that, it's because of the actions of his son. It has an Empire Strikes Back sort of ending, where, you know, after the kid saves his dad, and the general looks at his son, he's like, "Son, come with me." It's like, you couldn't help yourself, could you? Trying to be the Empire Strikes Back. So, I don't know. You can tell probably on the set, there's like, Cameron, this is just Empire. Shut up, roll it. But on top of that, one of the sons gets killed, which I was shocked. Like, wow, you killed a kid. Okay, Cameron, you got balls. Okay, that was cool. But not cool, but like, it adds to character development and prepping for the fight for next time. On top of that, it's interesting how, like, at the end, when the son is killed, and the mom, Jake's wife, turns on one of her own. She takes her stepson, which granted is the son of her enemy, and because when the general has one of the daughters held hostage, she takes her own brought-in son, somebody who she should unconditionally love as an adoptive son, puts a knife to his heart and says, "A son for a son." At that point, a mother's rage, that's the one thing I will say, Zoe Saldana did so good here, because her rage, killing all the bad guys, a mother's rage is terrifying. And here, I felt as scared as the kid was. Because at that point, her subconscious goes away. She grabs her own adoptive son and says, I will not hesitate to kill him. I don't care if I treat him like my son to get revenge on you. That's some deep shit. That is some deep shit. You're basing it on emotions, conflict. It's all there in that finale, and even the general's like, oh, I don't care, he's not my kid. But then when she starts doing it, he's like, God damn it! Like, he has a heart! He's a bad guy! Like, they kind of fixed him from the first one, because in the first one, he's the one-dimensional general who wants to destroy everything. The sequel gives him weight. They make him where he's developing, he's having an arc. He has emotions. He's conflicted. Again, not being the original, now this one has flaws, and I like that. I'm curious what they're going to do in the third one. There is some interesting stuff here in Avatar 2 that sets up 3. I also really like the fact that he goes back to where he died, and he picks up the skull of his own human self, like Hamlet. It's a very Hamlet moment, and he just crushes his own skull. I'm like, there's some really cool poetic visuals here. But anyway, ending kind of sets up the next one. I am curious where this is going to go. I am now invested. I was shocked that I actually came out liking Avatar 2, The Way of Water. But overall, guys, go watch Avatar 2. Watch both of them. Set yourself up for part 3, because now I'm locked in. I'm invested in this world. I want to see where this goes. I'm hoping 3 can continue going forward. I know we have 2 more movies, but I'm curious about this, how this is going to pay off. So I think visually this movie's a masterpiece. The effects go far beyond the first one. I thought the story was engaging. I thought the characters were able to develop and grow. And on top of that, the villain is great. And I like what they set up here. I like what they set up with some of these characters that hopefully in part 3 we'll get more answers to. So for me, I regret not seeing this in theaters. And I owe a huge apology for that, because I should have. This movie would have been a great time at the cinema. And in terms of just sequels, it's a good sequel. It's a solid sequel, but is it Cameron's best sequel? No, that's still probably going to go to Terminator 2 and Aliens. So this is third best, but it's still solid Cameron quality. And that's all I gotta say about it. This is about a good 8 or 9 out of 10. I still probably do enjoy the first one a little more, but as a sequel, this is pretty damn solid. I really enjoyed Avatar: The Way of Water. So an 8 or 9 out of 10, I don't know, between that time, 8.5. I really enjoyed this. Hopefully part 3 can do a lot more. And that's it, guys. I just wanted to get this out there. Finally, I could talk about Avatar 2. What do you guys think of it? Do you like it more than the first or less? Do you think it's an improvement? Do you think there's something interesting? Are you not invested? Do you think this is just preaching to the choir? Let me know in the comments section below. Don't forget to support our Patreon. Just $1 more will get you early access to all of our content as well as other special features. I have plans to do more vlogs and stuff on Patreon for you guys, so really appreciate you guys going to support my channel, subscribe, do a paid subscription. Really do appreciate it. But until next time, guys, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys later. This is BigJackFilms signing off, and yeah, I'm down. I'm all for Pandora. Let's keep going. Until next time, take it easy.